Welcome to a new episode of my series Villain Review. Here we're going to take a look at some of the best and worst villains across movies, TV shows, video games, and comics. Today's episode is on Tai Lung, the main antagonist to the original Kung Fu Panda film. For those who don't know, Kung Fu Panda is an action-adventure film made in 2008 by the little boy who goes fishing. And in case you haven't seen it, what the flip is wrong with you? It is awesome. Go see it. Alright, so like all reviews, we're going to be judging our villains by three categories: origins, character, and best scenes. Let's begin. Tai Lung's origins is definitely one of his strong suits. The snow leopard was abandoned on the doorstep of the Jade Palace, where he was found by Master Shifu, who's kind of like a little Dustin Hoffman furry Yoda thing, except maybe not as chill as Yoda, but anyways. Furry Hoffman decides to train the young cub, and as his talents grew quickly, so did Shifu's love for the leopard. Tai Lung trained hard and quickly became the clear candidate for the title of Dragon Warrior, a title given to the best warrior in all of China. Tai Lung became obsessed with the award and almost saw it as his birthright. So when Furry Hoffman's master, Master Oogway, decided Tai Lung was not fit to be Dragon Warrior, Tai Lung became outraged and tried to take the Dragon Scroll for himself. Forced to fight his own pupil and the closest thing he's had to a son, Shifu couldn't do it, and only with the help of his master, Master Oogway, were they able to stop Tai Lung. Once Oogway defeated him, they sent Tai Lung away to a maximum security prison where he has been locked up ever since, at least till the events of the movie. But we'll talk about that later. Overall, Tai Lung is a very sympathetic character, and it makes you understand him a lot more. He's not just an evil counter, like twirling his mustache and to be opposite of Po, but rather he's an orphan who was told he was worthy his whole life, but was just betrayed by those he trusted, or at least he thought he was betrayed. That would be devastating to anyone. To be told you were worthy and you were something for your whole life and to not get it and to work so hard for it, that'd crush anyone. It fuels his motivation and makes him all the more compelling for the rest of the movie. As far as character goes, Tai Lung is exactly what you'd think. One cocky son of a bitch, but that cockiness isn't false by any means. The dude's badass. Like, if Bruce Lee was a furry, we should call him Fur Lee. Stupid joke. His arrogance comes across to everyone he has a conversation with, and he serves as a great mirror to the protagonist, Po. Po is lovable, kind, and so humble to the point that for most of the movie he doesn't think he's worthy to do anything. Tai Lung is the exact opposite. He believes he is the only one worthy, and often laughs at the notion of a fat panda being chosen over him. The cockiness might get a little repetitive, but he has the fighting skills to back it up, so he never really gets boring as a character. Once we see him escape, he becomes such a symbol of fear as he slowly gets closer to the Jade Palace. They even evacuate the whole city as he gets close. He's like a freaking natural disaster, right? Hurricane Tai Lung. When the impending threat is so fear-inducing, it makes even their protagonist run from the city. That's when you have a good villain. And it makes the moment that he finally does arrive at the Jade Palace all the more fulfilling. For Tai Lung's best scenes, it really comes down to two in my opinion, although his fight with the Furies 5 should get an honorable mention. The first best scene of Tai Lung comes from when he escapes the prison. This is a great scene to establish how good of a fighter Tai Lung really is. When the scene starts, it seems near impossible for him to escape, right? They got these like big ass crossbow things. They're pretty gangster, honestly. But a few minutes later, and what seems like 100 dead rhinos, you think it's impossible to stop him. This scene is easily one of the best action scenes in an animated film. And hell, I'm going to say it, maybe the best introduction to a villain in an animated film ever. It's that good. As good as this scene is, I think there's one more that might be better. Tai Lung's final confrontation with Master Shifu. This fight is brutal. At this point, everyone has left the city except for Shifu, and it's up to only him to stop him. Shifu couldn't do it before, and he's not sure he can do it now. He's about to face off against his old student and practically his son. During the fight, you can tell it is just so painful for both of them. Tai Lung's fueled with anger at his master for seemingly betraying him, and Shifu's conflicted and remorseful for how things went with his student. The fight is fueled with emotion, and is even interwoven with flashbacks to Tai Lung's childhood to make it even more painful for Shifu. This scene is done wonderfully and is one of the best scenes in the movie.
Warrior, that was not my fault!
Not your fault? Who filled my head with dreams? Who drove me to train until my bones cracked? Who denied me my destiny?
Kung Fu Panda is a great movie, and part of that is because of Tai Lung. If you haven't seen the movie, go freaking watch it. It's awesome. His sympathetic origins make us understand him more and really makes us feel bad for the guy. And especially towards the end, we're put in Shifu's shoes. It's not easy to watch. The protagonist, Po, is so much better because he is a great opposite in Tai Lung. And Tai Lung's origins even affect Po's relationship with Shifu, as Shifu doesn't want to get attached to another student. He's as complex as he is awesome to watch. Tai Lung gets a 9. Thanks for watching Villain Review, and tune in next week as we discuss the Salamanca twins from Breaking Bad. Comment below what villains you think we should do, and that's cool. Okay, bye.